Okay, good afternoon everyone. Thank you for this invitation. And I'm here this afternoon to try to probably teach you ways of how to be happy. Isn't that something that we all want to be and we aspire to be? Is happiness as easy as an equation with tons of probabilities around us? Can we really just add the good things in our lives and subtract the bad? The answer is yes, and I will talk on what we can add to our life to be happy. Next slide. As a doctor, let me begin by saying happiness is necessary for your health. Happiness does not just feel good, but it's good for you. And it's been linked to all sorts of benefits, from higher earnings and better immune system, functioning to boosts in creativity. Psychologists Ed Diner and Shigehiro Oishi had about 10,000 participants over 48 countries, and they checked that people from every corner of the globe rated happiness as being more important than other highly desirable personal outcomes, such as having meaning in life, or becoming rich, and getting into heaven. Next slide. Happiness comes and goes. It is fleeting because it ends once we achieve it. And after we reach our goal, we move on to the next. Yet, modern life has made challenges easier for us. What challenges do we have when technology does everything for us? Most of you, I would say, would be below 25, right? In this room now, except for us speakers. So you are the generation that they keep saying are the millennials, the generation Y. And many times when parents come to my clinic and they complain about the children age 20 to 35, I would tell them we created this generation. So we need to help them rather than always point out what's wrong with what all of you are doing and comparing it to the lives we had when we were younger. Life was easier. We followed our parents. Now you answer back and all that. So I've come to a point of trying to work with children your age. Pediatrics covers the age birth to 18 years old and 364 days. So technically, until you're about 19, you're under the care of a pediatrician. And many would stay on because they find it easier to talk to someone they've been used to. Next, moreover, social media has made us compare ourselves to others more. We see everyone doing a good life and we fail to measure up. So in turn, we post only the good things in our lives on Facebook and Instagram. How many of you count the number of likes you get for a certain post that you make? Raise your hands. So you don't do that? How many of you will try to remember who liked it and who didn't like it and would therefore not like what they post as well? We're all guilty of that. Next. So happiness is a matter of perspective, and the previous two speakers have already mentioned that as well. And it is how we see the world and its challenges. If we don't find meaning in its challenges, then we feel void of fulfillment. In Japan, there are about 67,824 people living today at the age of 100 and above. This is attributed to the Japanese views on life and living. They don't necessarily carry heavy dumbbells or run marathons. I saw that you had a gym over here, right? Where you can actually work out probably while you're studying. Yet they move with mindfulness all the time. For the Japanese, the reason to wake up is to tend to their home gardens and talk with their neighbors. So can you ask each one of you, what was your reason to get up today? To come to school, to see the crush of your life, right? What was the reason for you? Can you think for a moment, what was the reason for you to go up, to wake up? They start the day with things they love to do, and it helps them spring up from bed in the morning. For us, it could even be as simple as making coffee in the morning. The Japanese have a term for it, and it is called ikigai. As mentioned in this slide, how many of you have heard of ikigai? Not the ikigai you don't want to be next to, right? It is a more expensive view of happiness because it is not bigger. than the me-centered Western view of happiness. Ikigai is asking yourself how your talents can help others find fulfillment there. In Japan, millions of people have ikigai, a reason to jump out of bed. You really want to jump out of bed, yet many of us don't even want to wake up in the morning, right? You don't want to go to school. And you know, one thing I also noticed, you're more tired on a Monday. Did you notice that? Yeah. And why is that so? Because you slept in during the weekend. So if we find ourselves a common time for waking up and going to bed, it will help fix our body clock and make us always look forward to waking up in the morning. A reason to wake up in the morning. So ikigai roughly means the thing that you live for. Again, maybe let's pause and reflect. What is it that you live for? Okay. For me, it's waking up to see my patients, or maybe not. Purpose is a powerful thing to do. And I will admit to you now that I was diagnosed to have ADHD while I was in training. So ADHD is not something that you're supposed to be afraid of. It's not something that will be crippling, because you can become anything you want to be, provided you have that mindfulness, you have that sense of purpose in life, and the persistence to continue and persevere in whatever you started out to do. I learned that after years of graduating, while I was doing my fellowship. And my purpose to be a pediatrician gave me the gift to focus, despite all the odds. Especially for your generation, happiness is a main issue these days. Media perpetuates this concept to follow your dreams. Hence, people seek jobs that want rather than enforced by their parents. Ikigai believes that the journey is a reward in itself. We know that we should savor the journey towards reaching our goals. When we feel blue, we may not want to move on and go binge watching on Netflix all day. Yet we can trick our bodies into happiness. Because with our bodies, we can fake it till you make it by doing something you enjoy in the morning. Exercise and movement gives us endorphins, or makes you release endorphins to make us feel good. In Japan, they do simple calisthenics in their offices to perk up people. If you're in the mall early enough, you can watch Uniqlo employees doing exercises to raise their adrenaline. Second, do things with mindfulness. It is easy to multitask in this digital world, yet give your mind and body a break by focusing on your tasks with excellence. With a pet, I mean, taking care of another person or another live being can probably make you focus on someone other than yourself. They also, what do you call this? They also say that you are the I generation, me, myself, I. It's all about me. But by having some, let's say a pet or a plant to take care of, you need to wake up in the morning, take it to a walk, it'll wake you up. In return, you'll get warm kisses for your effort. Not just from a person, but maybe your dog. And it makes us responsible, and it's a starter kit to living for others. Next is to surround yourself with friends. Being with friends will also promote activity, because meeting our peers, then we're forced to come out and get out of bed. It's a reason to see your BFFs. Again, exercise gives us endorphins to feel good, as I mentioned earlier, and we can start with simple things like walking up the stairs instead of taking the elevator. It doesn't need to be a gym membership. You can even go on YouTube to follow a fitness routine. They say now that the minimum amount would be about 45 minutes of a physical activity. In St. Luke's, we've taken this project by walking the stairs, and there's actually a contest among the doctors who, after a certain period of time, would have lost weight after doing the stairs instead of the elevator. Next, sadness and depression is an inward activity, and if we think too much about ourselves, next slide, and next slide. We are thinking too much about ourselves when we are sad. So by being present, we forget ourselves and focus on others. And smiling, can we see everybody smile now? Diba? Will take a few muscles more than you frowning. Next, nature helps us meditate on how the natural world is as beautiful as it is. We have to think about ourselves in the same light. We need to embrace our natural beauty with all our flaws. And it is the totality of who are that what makes us beautiful. For example, we are attracted to people who naturally themselves are happy, right? We are drawn to people if they have a good and happy countenance. 7, in Japan, kintsukuroi is the art of golden repair. It is a reminder that our flaws and struggles make us more beautiful people. These supposed disadvantages are the golden highlights in our lives, and we must accept and love ourselves. And with this love, we can propel ourselves to move forward with confidence. It's the same thing about embracing your past, right? Honoring your past, which the previous speaker has mentioned. And if we start our day with a grateful heart, rather than complain of what happened the night before, or being worried about what will happen the next week, just try to say thank you to people who have, or people or events that have happened in your life. I have found it very helpful to tell the children that I see, who are adolescents, to have a gratuity journal, to write down 3 to 5 things that they're thankful for at the end of the day, so that when they start the day, there's something that they would focus on a positive note rather than on a negative note. The Japanese culture is fixated in perfecting each step of a process with care. This is an example of living in the moment. The art of origami is a mundane task of repetitious paper folds that eventually blossom into beautiful paper craft. Why do the Japanese enjoy going the extra mile for this seemingly impractical activity? The answer is that the Japanese love a good challenge. In doing so, they unlock the joy of mindfulness through a state of flow. It is a state in which a person enjoys fulfillment in a task because they are sufficiently challenged to complete it without feeling bored or overwhelmed. Moreover, flow causes one to constantly seek ways to be physically or mentally engaged throughout their day. And as a result, they give their best creative output in any task because they are confident to finish it and are challenged enough not to be careless. For us, we can practice the concept of flow by seeking challenges in our school, work, or in our hobbies, and remembering that the journey is the reward in itself. Without opening Facebook or Instagram, we must enjoy boredom, though through always focusing on the challenge in front of us. The point is always to find fun and fulfillment in growth, and we will never get bored. So the 10th is to follow your ikigai. And that's what I mentioned earlier. And how can we do this? We can only answer these 4 questions when we work with mindfulness. How we will discover our talents when we are doing a million things. When we focus on excelling on one activity, we can learn to savor the journey and its reward. Ikigai is seen as the convergence of these 4 primary elements: love, mission, love, needs, and what you have paid for and what you're good at. So discovering your own ikigai is said to bring fulfillment, happiness, and make you live longer. And it has a few essential qualities and is very challenging, but let us remember that ikigai should lead to mastery and growth. You feel a certain degree of autonomy and freedom pursuing your ikigai, and to a particular cause, skill, trade, or group of people, it involves a commitment of time and beliefs. Ikigai is also associated with positive relationships and good health, and it gives you more energy than it takes away. Remember to evaluate your sense of happiness and purpose at every step along the way, and by seeking growth that fits your sense of purpose, you will pursue health and happiness as well. An ikigai, in some ways, is like a compass, aligning your actions with the thing that you live for and help you navigate life's ups and downs. As your career evolves and you're presented with more opportunities, you can rely on your ikigai to steer you in the right direction. So let your ikigai, next slide, be your guide. I'd like to end with this app prayer from Father Pedro Arupe, so that we may fall in love and stay in love, and that we may hopefully find our ikigai sooner than later. Nothing is more practical than finding God, than falling in love in a quiet, absolute, final way. What you are in love with, what seizes your imagination, will affect everything. It will decide what will get you out of bed in the morning, what you do with your evenings, how you spend your weekends, what you read, whom you know, what breaks your heart, and what amazes you with joy and gratitude. So fall in love, stay in love, and it will decide everything. Thank you.